game. And we're actually going to be cutting to commercial break, so we will see you right after these messages.
Yeah.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because, well, that's what we are. When you trust Co-Alliance Propane as your seriously local propane provider, you're trusting a team of professionals who live, work, and watch the game from right across the technology for your operation. A team that's close by and seriously dedicated to your safety and providing the best service possible. We can help take your operation. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's seriously local service and how you can get 50 gallons of propane free at coalliancepropane.com.
What?
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Well, that's what we are.
The lawyers
when you
and
trust
staff at Peterson, Wagner, and Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future.
A team that's close
See
by
a full list of
seriously
services
dedicated
online
to your
at
safety and providing the best service possible. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's
Woodlawn
seriously
Hospital,
local service,
offering state-of-the-art care for
50
Fulton
gallons of
County for
propane
over
free
100
at
years.
coalliancepropane.com.
Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
After that quick commercial break, we basically had time to take a look over at the roster for both of these teams. So here are your Tippecanoe Valley Vikings. So for the Vikings, we have number 10 sophomore Sydney Wagner, number 12 junior Emma Craig, number 14 junior Jillian Walls, number 20 sophomore Haley Backus, number 22 senior Kennedy Brooks, number 24 senior Sophie Buzzard, number 30 freshman Braden Bainey, number 32 freshman Mercedes Snap, number 34 sophomore Ashley Butler, number 40 junior Mackenzie Woodcox, number 42 freshman Brianna Sheets, and number 50 junior Karina Young. And now here are your Triton Trojans. Number 4 sophomore Jayla Faulkner, number 10 senior Delaney Groves, number 12 junior Jessica Soriano, number 14 junior Whitney Miller, number 20 sophomore Jalen Buell, number 22 sophomore Emma Helper, number 24 sophomore Abby Vyers, number 32 sophomore Lexia Holstrasser, number 34 freshman Taryn Yates, number 40 senior Chelsea Johnson, and number 44 junior Alexa Vyers. Now Valley is coached by Chris Kindig, assistants being Alyssa Trapedi, Rebecca Parker, and trainer is Jennifer Backus. And that's for Triton. The varsity coach is Adam Heckerman. Varsity assistant is Paige Miller. Junior varsity is Justina Faulkner.
Wow, Nate, that is a lot of names. You know, I cannot wait to see how good these girls do on their home turf. It reminds me of the game.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout north central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank. Online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because, well, that's what we are. When you trust Co-Alliance Propane as your seriously local propane provider, you're trusting a team of professionals who live, work, and watch the game from right across the county, not the country. A team that's close by and seriously dedicated to your safety and providing the best service possible. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's seriously local service and how you can get 50 gallons of propane free at coalliancepropane.com.
And so we are back after those couple minutes of, I guess, vacation, if you want to call it that.
Well, Nate, are you ready to see this shipload of Vikings facing this legion of Trojans?
Honestly, I'm going to have to say yes, because obviously Valley so far, they're coming off of a win, I believe, if my research serves me correctly. But basically, Valley has a couple of key players that can play an important role in this game. And, of course, everyone knows basically, I guess you can call the Michael Jordan of the team or the Steph Curry, Sophie Buzzard. But I believe she's going to have a really good night, as usual.
Of course, she's a phenomenal player. She is the last remaining player from the state championship team. So we'll have to see how she does tonight. She'll be a player that we'll be focusing on a little bit.
Yes, and of course, her talent is basically what makes her a recruit for Southwest Missouri State, which is a Division I school, if I'm not mistaken. Getting recruited by an NCAA school in general is very impressive, much less Division I.
Of course, it's quite an achievement. Our starting lineup, from what I remember, is definitely mostly juniors in our class. They're very good-hearted girls, good-natured, but they will fight, and they will fight for a win.
Yes, and of course, whenever we don't expect it, whoever Valley is playing has a chance of always making it a really close game, which only makes it even more entertaining. And Triton, if they manage to play their basketball correctly, they're actually they could be able to more or less make this game probably go down to the final buzzer.
Oh yes, absolutely. I think we're seeing a few familiar faces from the Trojans as well.
I know. If you people watching don't really remember, we covered this game literally last season, except we were at Triton for that game, and a lot of names that you're going to be hearing called out this game, if you've watched that previous broadcast, then those names will probably remind you of who they are. So with a little under a minute and a half left to go, they're going to be giving out the starter announcements for both teams, and they're going to be doing the national anthem. So, Mitch, any, I guess, last-minute comments before the game starts?
It's going to be a good game to watch, Nate.
Yes, this game has the opportunity to be one that could leave a pretty impressive mark throughout the entire season for the Valley Vikings.
Yes, it's going to be quite an exciting game. You know, I cannot wait to see what the plays are going to be like, especially considering that the assistant coach is Mrs. Trapiti. She is the geometry teacher here at the high school. So maybe we'll see some triangles, circles.
Some rectangular prisms.
Yes. It should be quite fun.
But yes, as the clock is winding down, everybody is standing up here. So it looks like they're going to be doing the national anthem here right as the timer goes down. So we're going to be going through that, and then the starters will be announced right after.
Yes, quite exciting.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gents.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tippecanoe Valley High School for tonight's varsity contest, featuring the Triton Lady Trojans and your own Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings.
It looks like they're doing starters first.
To introduce to you first for Adam Heckerman's Lady Trojans. Non-starters, number 4, Jayla Faulkner. Number 12,
Jayla Faulkner.
Jessica Soriano.
Jessica Soriano.
Number 22, Emma Hepler.
Emma Hepler.
Number 24, Abby Barrett.
Abby Bears.
Number 34, Taryn Yates.
And Taryn Yates.
Starting for the Trojans in guard number 10, Delaney Grove. At guard number 20, Jalen Williams. At
Jalen
guard
Buell.
number 32, Lexi Altbrother. At center number 40, Chelsea Johnson. And at forward number 44, Alexa Martin.
So basically, your starters for Triton are Delaney Groves, Jalen Buells, Lexia Hallstrasser, Chelsea Johnson, and Alexa Veres. And now here are your Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings. Number 20, Haley Backus.
She is a sophomore this year, folks.
Number 30, Brandon Manning. Number 32, Mercedes Snack. Number 34, Ashley Butler. Number 42, Brianna Sheep. Number 50, Karina Young. And now, your starters at guard number 10, Sydney Wagner.
Sydney
At
Wagner.
guard number 12, Emma Craig.
Emma Craig.
At guard number 14, Jillian Wall.
Jillian Walls.
At guard number 24, Sophie Buzzard.
Sophie Buzzard.
At the center for the Vikings, number 40, Mackenzie Woodcock.
And Mackenzie Woodcox.
They're coached by Chris Kindig, Elisa Trapini, and Rebecca Parker.
And those are your starters for both teams. And now it looks like the national anthem will be played.
This time, we'd like everyone who's able to please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, here's the national anthem, ladies and gents. All right.
Let's go.
The starter announcements and the anthem are out of the way, and now let's get straight into some Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings basketball.
Nate, this year it seems to be a very young team. Sophie Buzzard is the only senior. The starting lineup is mostly sophomores and juniors.
Yes, and there's also quite a few freshmen on the team. But, yeah, of course, we got Chelsea Johnson and Mackenzie Woodcox at the center line to tip off. The tip is up, and it's won by Triton. We got some passing going on with Triton. We got Faulkner driving inside. Attempts to pass it to Chelsea Johnson, but that's stolen away by Valley. And now Buzzard's coming up the court. Gives it over to Jillian Walls. Back to Buzzard. Back to Walls. Thought of shooting a three there. Some passes inside for Valley. And that was just stolen away by Chelsea Johnson. And now we got Faulkner coming up the court. Gives it over to Delaney Groves, who did a little pump fake of a three, but tried passing it, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover, Triton. And now we got Sydney Wagner coming up the court. Gives it over to Buzzard. Inside to Woodcox. And Woodcox just puts the ball on the ground, and that will be a jump ball. Valley possession. Pretty close call there by Woodcox to not have a turnover, don't you think?
Oh, I definitely agree. It seems to be a pretty close matchup so far. I mean, we just started.
Right as you said that, Sophie Buzzard actually managed to score that easy bucket. And now Valley's pulling a full court press. Faulkner almost steps out of bounds, and right as I said that, there is a foul. That's Sophie Buzzard with the foul, her first.
She's ready to get revving up to go. Playing a little rough.
A little physical. Bounce pass to Groves. A lob pass, which was stolen away by Emma Craig pretty easily. We got Jillian Walls, who shoots the three, and she just misses it. That is rebounded by Chelsea Johnson. We got Groves. Back over to Faulkner. Bounce pass back to Groves. That was just easily stolen by Emma Craig again. That is her second steal. We got Sophie Buzzard inside to Mackenzie Woodcox, and she does not get it.
Trojans leading up the court.
Yes. And that one was also stolen by Craig, which was rebounded by Buzzard. And Sydney Wagner almost loses the ball, but she doesn't, and she ends up scoring.
First two scores of the game.
And it looks like there will be a timeout on Triton's side. And we are going to be cutting to commercial break here, folks. So we will see you after these messages from our sponsors.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyard's True Value and Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Start right. Start here. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, and so we're back. And Mackenzie Woodcox actually gets the basket and the foul as well. She draws that foul pretty easily, putting her the first player from Valley to be on the line. And that foul looks to be on Alexa Vares, her first foul of the night. And that free throw was easily making in there by Woodcocks. 1 for 1. And that was stolen away by Sophie Buzzard. And she just chucks up a 3, which was no good, and that's rebounded by Johnson. Buzzard was open, but unfortunately it does not make the other end of the basket. And that 3 was pretty easily making there by Lexia Hostrasser. I actually scratched that. That was a 2-pointer.
They're trying to send a message to Valley that we're here to stay and we're here to fight.
Most definitely. 5-point game, 7-2 here to go with a little under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and that is Jillian Walls for 3. Valley is pulling a full court press. We got Faulkner over to Holstrasser again, and that one's just completely airballs, and Sophie Buzzard's there to rebound. She's coming up the court, gives it over to Wagner, inside to Craig, and she does not get it, but grabs her own rebound and draws the foul. I believe that foul will be on Chelsea Johnson, and Emma Craig will be shooting 2.
Emma Craig is involved in student council and NHS. She's very involved in her school and loves this sport very much.
Yeah, it's really nice to see any sort of athlete giving back to their communities rather than just stay for the sport.
Absolutely. There's a lot of these girls on this team like that.
And it looks like Alexa Vares will be out, and Emma Hepler will be in for the first time tonight, and Emma Craig gets her first point. We got some more full court press going on. Most of the players are at the half court line for Valley. We got Groves being triple teamed, and that was just easily stolen there by Sophie Buzzard, and now she's racing up the court. Bounce pass to Wagner over to Jillian Walls for 3, and she just nails it.
You can tell that these coaches worked hard with these girls. They're not playing sloppy tonight at all. They're very clean.
Yes, and that is Jillian Wall's second 3-pointer, currently putting her up for 6.
Very impressive.
Faulkner's trying to make something happen, as she does. Easily lays it in there for Triton, making it only a 10-point game. We got Sydney Wagner now crossing half court. Over to Walls. Some passing going on with Valley, trying to make something happen. Over to Walls, a little pump fake, and they're going to count that as a traveling. Haley Backus is in for Mackenzie Woodcocks. So we got Faulkner crossing half court line. Almost stolen there by Haley Backus. And that was stolen by Jillian Walls, and now she manages to get the easy layup. Jillian Walls so far is having a pretty good game for herself, if you ask me. She's currently sitting at 8 points.
And she's doing it as smooth as a knife on butter.
Exactly. Pretty good analogy right there. We got a lob pass over to Holstrasser, and she just makes it. Holstrasser, yeah. So we got Sydney Wagner now crossing half court. We got Craig over to Walls. 2:30 left to go here in the first quarter. It's 16-6, only a 10-point lead for the Valley Vikings. We got Craig being closely guarded, and she just gets rejected there by Johnson, and it's still Valley's possession.
These girls tonight are not afraid to get physical.
Yes, and that rejection there was kind of an icing on the cake. Really nice job by Johnson there. And we got Sophie Buzzard with the tough inbounds, and Johnson just blocks it again. 2 straight blocks within the same 10 seconds. A really nice defensive effort there, and it doesn't look like she's even jumping when she's blocking. So, and that will be Delaney Groves missing that 3-pointer. And we got Sophie Buzzard now crossing up the court. A little behind the back. Walls back over to Buzzard. Back over to Walls in the wing. Almost steps out of bounds. We got Craig to Sydney Wagner inside of Haley Backus. Inside of Sophie Buzzard, and she does not make it, but grabs her own rebound and draws the foul. And it looks like that foul will be on Chelsea Johnson for her first, if I'm not mistaken.
Fouls on Johnson.
Yep, Chelsea Johnson, her first foul of the night. And Sophie Buzzard will be shooting 2. She's currently only sitting at 2 points, and she makes one. Even though she's only sitting at a minimal amount of points, I am very confident that she's going to score a lot more, at least within halftime.
Of course.
Sophie Buzzard.
I accidentally did a thing. But nonetheless, we got Hepler over to Hostrauer for 3, no good. Rebounded there by Jillian Walls. We got Sydney Wagner to Emma Craig. Over to Craig, to Walls, to Wagner. Bounce pads inside to Backus. Backus does not make that shot, but it's rebounded by Sophie Buzzard, and she does not get that shot. Get another rebound, misses that shot. Rebounded by Craig, no foul drawn, and there is a foul. That foul will be on Chelsea Johnson for her second. That will be Triton's 4th. Only 3 more, and Valley will be in the bonus. It looks like Craig will be shooting 2. She does not make the first one. Some substitutions here for Triton. It looks like Chelsea Johnson is out, and it looks like Jalen Buells will be in. That one's also a miss, and they will count it Triton's possession. Hepler to inbounds. Valley's pulling another full-court press, and that was tipped by Craig, but it's still Triton's possession. Almost another steal for Emma Craig. I believe she has 2, if I'm not mistaken. Really nice defensive effort there by her so far.
Absolutely.
Got a lob pass. Bounce pass over to Faulkner. She does a little pump fake, and that's just rejected by Haley Backus. And now we got Sophie Buzzard coming up the court. Gives it over to Julian Walls, who tries a 3. Airballs that, and that is rebounded by Lexia Hostrasser. And now Faulkner's coming up the court.
That was an impressive catch there by Haley Backus. She is only a sophomore as well, so that's really impressive for an underclassman.
Yes, and there was a traveling call there on Faulkner. Valley possession. 21.4 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. It's a 12-point game. And now we got Sydney Wagner inside of Buzzard. That was stolen by Faulkner. Now she's coming up the court. A little pump fake there, and that will be easily out of bounds with 7.1 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Valley possession, 7 seconds to try to get off a little buzzer beater if they wanted to. But we got Sydney Wagner over to Jillian Walls, back to Buzzard. Buzzard with the shot, no good. And that's going to make it the end of the first quarter. The score is 18-6. And we will be seeing you after these messages from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to RTC TV4's broadcast of Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings basketball. I'm Nate Roberts here currently with Mitchell Smith.
Hi, folks.
And we are your commentators for tonight's game, currently against the Triton Lady Trojans. And so far in the first quarter, it's been pretty one-sided. Valley is currently leading 18-6. But question is, will Triton come back within the second quarter?
This is a good question because so far we've been seeing Valley's defense just tackled on every attempt they make towards a score.
Yes, and especially Emma Craig herself, having herself a pretty good game with a couple steals. And the inbounds is in, and Faulkner's now coming up the court. We got Faulkner now. She's driving inside. The ball rolls out, and that's stolen by Mackenzie Woodcocks. On the topic of defensive pressure, and that is Jillian Walls with that easy lay-in. She's sitting at 10 points.
Very impressive for her. She is a junior this year.
And that will be a foul on Sydney Wagner. Pretty obvious there. And it looks like, I believe that is Hepler. Yep, Hepler to inbounds. We got Faulkner.
Well, Nate, I'd wager that there's been just about as much contact this game as a wrestling match.
That is debatable. But nonetheless, that was a pretty obvious out-of-bounds call, and Valley will retain possession. It's currently 20-6 with a little over 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We got Sophie Buzzard over to Jillian Walls. Walls having herself a pretty good game so far. Buzzard is being double-teamed. Walls in the wing.
The Trojans are playing smart by double-playing Sophie Buzzard. They know that there's one of Valley's strongest players.
Yes, and that shot does go out of bounds, and it will be Triton's possession. Wilcox's shot was no good. So we got Faulkner coming up the court. Bounce pass to Yates.
Bounces out.
Buell, and that shot was no good. And we got Walls coming up the court.
Walls so far has been the biggest point player this game.
She's had the highest scoring numbers for any team. And we got Walls almost tried to shoot, but she didn't, which may have been for the better. And Walls is actually kind of open there in the corner, but we got Sydney Wagner to Mackenzie Woodcocks, who tries to shoot. That is no good. And I felt like had she turned her head a little bit in a different direction, that could have been easy 3 points. Which, speaking of, Walls just comes up the court, but she doesn't pull a fast break, and inside is Woodcocks, and she gets that basket and definitely makes up for it.
An impressive maneuver.
Impressive indeed, and that's going to be a timeout call, folks. So we're going to be going to commercial break, so we will see you after these 30 seconds.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after that timeout. Under 6 minutes here to go here in the half. And that was a pretty rough play there by Woodcocks. And that foul will obviously be on Woodcock's, her first foul, and that'll be Valley's third. We got Hepler to inbound. Faulkner to retrieve the inbounds.
Faulkner seems to be a very important and key player for the Trojans.
Yeah, so far she's been mainly the one trying to set up the offense there for Triton, and nice effort there by Buzzard, but it looks like it's still Triton's possession. Triton inbounds. We got Hepler in the wing, driving along the baseline, doesn't attempt it. We got Faulkner. Drives in shy with a little shot, but that just hits the left side of the rim. And now we got Sophie Buzzard. Lob pass to Emma Craig, and that was just either blocked or stolen. I don't even know what that was. But nonetheless, we got Taryn Yates coming up, and that shot attempt is up and no good by Hostrasser. And now Sophie Buzzard is coming back up the court. Over to Sydney Wagner, which I believe that's for three, but it's no good nonetheless, and Hostrasser with the rebound. So far, no teams have had any offensive success within these past couple of possessions. We got Yates back over to Hepler. A little hesitation there, but it does no good, especially against Buzzard. A little passing along the arc. That was a pull-up jumper there, and I thought that was a clean block, but they signaled it a foul of Sydney Wagner.
Sydney Wagner is also a sophomore this year.
One of the youngest players that the Valley has on their squad, and it will be Jayla Faulkner with two. She makes her first one.
And boy, Nate, doesn't it look like they need it. 7-22.
Obviously so, but that second one does not fall. We got under 4.5 minutes to go here in the half. Buzzard with the drive, that's no good. Rebounded on her own, and she gets the and one. Looks like that foul will be on Jalen Buells. Buzzard for one, and that falls.
It's been an impressive job by Valley's coaches. We've been seeing some great maneuvers. These ladies have been doing a great job at the plays.
Yeah, not only are they being successful defensively, but also on the possession side of the ball as well. Buzzard getting herself 7 so far. And speaking of Buzzard, she just steals that ball, and that will be a pretty easy lay-in. Basically, if she's driving in for the easy lay-in, there is at least a 90% chance that that's going in. And I say that with confidence.
Absolutely. She's a phenomenal player.
Very much so indeed. And we got Faulkner now over to Hostrasser. Some passing here by Triton. Deep pass over to Hepler, and that just goes out of bounds. Valley possession. The score is 27-7 here in the second quarter, with 3:30 to go here in the half. Walls gives it over to Buzzard. Buzzard to Craig. Craig to Walls. Lob pass to Buzzard, and she drives along the baseline pretty easily. And Mackenzie Woodcox ends up making that lay-in. Her first couple of shot attempts were no good, but she's now starting to slowly make a name for herself.
She's shaking off the old Sunday shoes, getting the grease off, you know?
Yes.
Warming up.
That will be a kicked ball, and I believe that is Triton's possession. So currently with under 3 minutes to go here in the half, basically Triton here has had problems with turnovers, as that's mainly their key factor as of to why they're down at the moment. And it's pretty noticeable. And that will be Delaney Groves for no good. But that pull-up jumper was no good. Easily rebounded by Haley Backus. We got Buzzard now. Craig inside to Woodcocks again. And she gets it. Mackenzie Woodcocks is having herself a really good night, actually. 9 points so far. We got Hostrasser. Almost another turnover there by Triton, but they saved it. The last thing they need currently is another turnover. And that will be a personal foul there on Valley.
I do believe that Mackenzie Woodcocks is also their tallest player.
That foul is on Jillian Walls, and as I'm doing that, yep, she actually is the tallest player at 6 foot. We got Yates now driving inside to Groves. Groves to Faulkner. Over to Hostrasser. We got some passing going on with Triton, trying to make something happen. Emma Craig with that close defense, and that was another steal there by Sophie Buzzard, and she easily makes that lay-in.
Showing some of that state pride there.
11 points for the senior. We got Groves now.
Good communication on the court. You can hear it from all the way up here.
Yep, very vocal call out for their teammates, and that shot's no good. Rebounded by Emma Craig, and we got a little over 1 minute to go here in the half. And Valley is leading by 26. Buzzard for 3, and she does not make it, but that's rebounded by Mackenzie Woodcocks, and it looked like there should have been a foul there. It looked pretty physical, but no foul was called. We got under a minute left to go here in the half, and that will be an easy pull-up jumper by Groves, and that's no good. We got Jillian Walls now. She's coming up. Lob pass over to Buzzard, and that was just easily taken away there by Faulkner, but it will still be Triton ball. 39 1/10 of a second here to go in the half. Score still 33-7. If your team does not hit at least double-digit points by halftime, then that's probably something worth of a halftime talk with your team.
Absolutely. These girls are working hard, but it just does not seem to be doing well against Valley defense.
And right as I say that, Lexia Hostrasser for 3. And it's now only a 23-point game. We got 12 seconds left to go here. It looks like Valley will be trying to shoot the final shot before halftime. Closely guarded, and that was easily stolen. The halftime shot is up, and it's no good. And at halftime, the Lady Vikings are leading the Lady Trojans 33-10. And now we are actually going to be cutting to commercial break for halftime, or at least most of it. So we will see you after these 10 minutes of messages.
There's been a lot of talk lately about net neutrality. At RTC, our customers receive the full and open internet, and nothing less. We are not the gatekeeper, toll operator, or curator. A free and open internet has been the single biggest driver of innovation over the last generation, and we want that engine of innovation to live on in our customers. If you ever have a question about your internet service, give RTC a call. We are here for you.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production. This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout North Central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank. Online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production. This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyard's True Value and Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Start right. Start here. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to RTC TV4's broadcast of Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings basketball here at Tippecanoe Valley High School in Akron, Indiana, where the Lady Vikings are going off against the Triton Lady Trojans in some pretty intense basketball. I am Nate Roberts here with Mitchell Smith.
Hey, folks.
And the final buzzer sounds, and we are getting ready for another half of basketball. All right, and the inbound is set. We got 16 more minutes of action. So we got Sydney Wagner inside of Craig, and she does a little hesitation shot, no good. We got Faulkner coming up the court. Back over to Hostrasser. Inside of Johnson. And that will be Vares, no good. Rebounded there by Sophie Buzzard. She's quickly coming up the court. Over to Sydney Wagner. And that will be a pretty easy foul there, foul call on Triton. Looks like that foul will be on Alexa Vares. That will be her 3rd foul. That'll be Triton's first foul of the half. Sophie Buzzard for the wing 3, no good, and that'll be rebounded by Vares, and there was a little bit of a situation there regarding possession, and that looks like it will be Triton's ball. So with a little over 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, the score is 33-10. Valley is leading Triton, the Trojans, and that pass was tipped, easily stolen there by Walls, and it'll be Sydney Wagner, no good. A little too much on that layup, and that kind of caused it to basically bounce off the backboard and into Triton's hand. Okay, we got Yates now. Bounce over to Johnson. Bounce pass inside of Vares, and that just gets stolen. That will be a jump ball. Well, Mitch, how did you feel about what you saw in the first half?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing what these ladies have pulled off. The Trojans seem to be really fighting hard to get back that lead, but it's going to be very difficult, especially in the amount of time they have. But it's definitely doable.
And that is Chelsea Johnson for her first field goal of the night. We got Buzzard now. Craig. Sophie Buzzard again from the wing, and that is no good. It goes in and out. Mackenzie Woodcock's no good. No good. Enough physical contact that I'm kind of surprised that wasn't a foul. And that is just stolen away by Buzzard. And that's stolen away by Hostrasser. Stolen again by Sydney Wagner. And Sophie Buzzard will finish it off.
Well, that was impressive, but it sure gave my arm a couple of yanks.
And there will be a timeout call there. And we're going to be cutting a commercial break here, so we will see you after these messages.
1,000 points.
And a little bit of a celebration there as Sophie Buzzard scores 1,000 points. That is just a spectacular milestone.
That is phenomenal. That is not something every player can do, Nate.
Yes, and especially at a school like Valley where producing players that caliber is actually pretty rare. And I just can't help but say congratulations to Sophie Buzzard, and she will definitely be missed right after the season ends.
Oh, absolutely. She is the last contender from the state team.
And after that little milestone celebration, we got Triton's possession going on. Hostrasser. We got Vares. Almost stolen there by Craig. Law pass over to Hostrasser, who shoots the three, and she just drains it.
Like I said earlier, folks, the Trojans seem to be fighting extra hard for that lead.
Yes, I've noticed so far that they're actually starting to make their shots, which is something that they haven't really done in the first half. It took at least a couple minutes left in the first half in order to reach double-digit points, which obviously is something that you do not want to be in that situation. We got some fast passing here going on with the Lady Vikes, and Sophie Buzzard again with the shot. That is no good. Rebounded there by Johnson, and we got Faulkner now coming up the court. A little under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's 35-15, shot no good, and that will be Valley ball.
Haley Backus checks in.
And Haley Backus will come in for Mackenzie Woodcocks.
Haley Backus, a sophomore this year, is an impressive player considering that she's an underclassman. She has a lot of skill in certain areas, especially defense.
We got Emma Craig now going on. Bounce pass to Wagner. Inside to Walls. And Sophie Buzzard is left open in the wing, and she just easily drains that three.
1,003 points now.
Yeah, I was going to say, after that milestone, I bet there's just so much more momentum going on with Buzzard, knowing that she is actually one of the highest scoring Tippecanoe Valley players in all of girls basketball. We got Buzzard now. Jillian Walls for three, and she does not make that, but that will be rebounded by Vares.
Not just in girls basketball, but just Tippecanoe Valley basketball history.
Yes, a player scoring triple digits of points is impressive, but that steal was also pretty impressive. And Sophie Buzzard again with the basket. 18 points this game, and counting as well. And Sophie Buzzard again with that rebound. That will be Emma Craig with that lay-in.
Well, Nate, I'd say we know who are the contenders for the next 1,000s.
Yep, and that will be a timeout call on Triton. And now we're going to be cutting to commercial break, so we'll be seeing you after these messages.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
After the fourth? After the third. Oh, okay. Okay, I can give a little recap when that happens. All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to RTC TV 4, where we are witnessing Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings basketball here against the Triton Lady Trojans, where the score is 42-15 with 3:23 to go here in the third quarter. Now, so far, these past couple of days has actually been pretty good for Tippecanoe Valley basketball as an overall whole, and Sophie Buzzard gets that steal in. Emma Craig with that easy lay-in. But as I was originally getting at the night before when the boys played, they ended up winning 85-40, which that is a very huge deficit, and now it looks like Valley will be getting themselves a pretty huge lead. And that will be Triton ball. It's 44-15.
Yes, and a little under 3 minutes left to go with this quarter.
Driving along the baseline is Yates inside of Johnson. And that will be a shooting foul. Looks like that foul will be on Mackenzie Woodcocks. Her second foul. Chelsea Johnson with 2. She does not make the first one. Now these next couple of points are very crucial.
Especially considering how far below that they need to be.
Chelsea Johnson with that free throw. Got Emma Craig now coming up the court.
Emma Craig and Jillian Walls and Sophie Buzzard seem to be names that we hear repeated throughout this game.
Yes, as they've been making their names in pretty different categories, and that three-pointer by Buzzard is out of bounds, and it will be Triton possession. So now we have Faulkner coming up the court. We got Faulkner inside of Johnson. That will be Ho Strasser for 3. Bounces off the back of the rim, and it's rebounded by Sydney Wagner. A little over 2 minutes left to go here in the third quarter, excuse me. We got Emma Craig now driving inside. Bounce pass over to Wagner. Almost goes to the other end of the court. Almost stolen there by Ho Strasser. We got Sophie Buzzard now. Trying to set up the offense. Inside of Backus. Double team, and Sydney Wagner with that shot, too short, and it will be Triton possession. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The score still sits at 44-16. And it looks like that foul will be on Jayla Faulkner, her first foul, and that'll be Triton's second. Sydney Wagner to inbounds. And Sophie Buzzard will be out, I believe, for the first time tonight, if I'm not mistaken. And Karina Young will be getting her first minutes.
Karina Young is in our class, and she is a very tall, talented player.
Yes, one of the other taller players, and that ball will be out, and it'll still be Valley possession. All right, Jillian Walls inbounded. Sydney Wagner now coming up the court. Bounce over to Jillian Walls. Pass over to Sydney Wagner, who just shoots that 3. It does not go in, and Haley Backus tried to save it, but it will be still Triton possession. 1:06 to go here in the third quarter. It's 44-16 still. No big scoring changes yet.
It still seems to be a 30-point game, and I know Valley's going to try and push that further and further up. Sorry.
They're fine. And right as you were saying that, Alexa Vayers just managed to get that pretty easy layup. And we got 38 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And that pass was just taken away by Faulkner. Nice tip off by Yates. And there will be a little bit of physical contact there. but it looks like it will be awarded Valley possession with 28 1/10 of a second to go here. And that foul will be on Alexa Veers, her 4th foul. Now Veers has to be very careful because one more foul and she will be permanently out of the game.
Time is going to play a crucial role for the Trojans as they are going to try to make up so many points within the time limit that they have. It's going to be very, very difficult, if not, I dare say, impossible.
Yes, the 4th quarter is going to be huge for the Trojans. And speaking of, they've managed to retain possession after the ball is tipped out of bounds by Haley Backus. Now we got Faulkner, 5 seconds to go here. Got a little crossover over to Hostrasser, and that shot does not go out in time. And that's going to make it the end of the 3rd quarter, where the score sits at 44-18, Tippecanoe Valley to Triton. And we're going to get to these messages from our sponsors, so we will be right back.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer simply free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RTC TV4's broadcast of Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings basketball. I'm Nate Roberts. Mitchell Smith is a little bit away at the moment, but he'll be back eventually. And we got one more quarter of basketball to play here in the 4th quarter. And they've just announced the fan of the night, which that goes to a fellow Valley student. I would love to win me some money, because I love gift cards. So anyways, we got 8 more minutes to go here in the 4th quarter, and if Triton wants to come back out to victory, then something's got to click. So we got Sydney Wagner now to Jillian Walls. Bounce over to Sydney Wagner. And Jillian Walls for 3, no good. But Sydney Wagner with that rebound, and Mackenzie Woodcocks back to Craig. Jillian Walls again for 3 after that off-screen, after that screen by Karina Young, and Jillian Walls will get that pretty easy 3. Huge shout out to our producer Dakota Hayden for being our temporary cameraman right now. And that shot was completely airballed, but that is rebounded by Chelsea Johnson, and she easily gets it. And so now we got Mitchell Smith returning to the mic. Welcome back.
Sorry, folks, it may seem like I live at the gym, but it's true that I do not, so I need to find a ride home, except I already got one, but that's pointless.
But nonetheless, currently we are at 6:47 to go in the game. Valley is leading by 27. Over to Sydney Wagner. Huge pass over to Jillian Walls in the wing. Another huge pass to Emma Craig, who's pretty open, and she does not drain at 3. But that's stolen by Craig. That ball just keeps rolling everywhere. It's like a hot potato or something. But nonetheless, it lands in Faulkner's hand as she's coming up. Bounce pass over to Yates. Got Faulkner, a little pull-up jumper there. No good. Rebounded by Karina Young. Over to Sydney Wagner now. Under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
This game seems to have flown by, and it's pretty phenomenal, the amount of defense, seeing the milestone of Sophie Buzzard's 1,000th point.
Yeah, this game has had so much going on, not only from both sides, but even off the court, that time does fly by, and it kind of amazes me that that's just the 4th quarter so far. But nonetheless, that ball rolls out within the touch of Hepler, actually Hostrasser. And Sophie Buzzard will come in for the Lady Vikings as Sydney Wagner will be out. All right, Sophie Buzzard to inbounds. Bounce over to Craig. That just goes in between Woodcock's legs, but it's picked up by Buzzard. Walls with the pump fake, back to Buzzard.
That was an impressive save by Sophie Buzzard.
And that was also an impressive lay-in there by Karina Young, who gets her first points of the night. Usually she sits on the bench, but it's nice to see bench warmers come up from the bench and actually try to get themselves some stats before the game ends. And that was stolen away by Emma Craig. Has herself a few steals. Lob pass to Sophie Buzzard, and she draws the foul. That one is on Chelsea Johnson, and she's sitting at 3 fouls.
Well, with a large junior-sophomore presence on this team, it's very important and very crucial that these girls get playing time because they will be next year's team.
Sophie Buzzard gets the first one. She's sitting at 19.
Timeout, Trojan.
And there will be a timeout by Triton, and we're going to be cutting out to commercial break, so we will be seeing you after these words from our sponsors.
There's been a lot of talk lately about net neutrality. At RTC, our customers receive the full and open internet, and nothing less. We are not the gatekeeper, toll operator, or curator. A free and open internet has been the single biggest driver of innovation over the last generation, and we want that engine of innovation to live on in our customers. If you ever have a question about your internet service, give RTC a call. We are here for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings basketball here against the Lady Trojans. It's 50-20 with 4:50 to go here in the fourth quarter, and Sophie Buzzard will be shooting her second free throw. I am Nate Roberts here with Mitchell Smith.
Hello, folks. It's been a wonderful game to watch, and it's been wonderful working here with Nate tonight.
I second that statement, especially the second part of that statement.
Oh, Nate.
But nonetheless, Sophie Buzzard will be shooting her second free throw after that timeout, after she made her first one. 30-point game so far. Buzzard is up, and it's good. That puts her up for 20 points of the game. I saw it coming ever since the fourth quarter. I said, even though she's scoring pretty minimal, she will get a lot more points within the fourth quarter. And I am correct. I am very correct.
Of course, she's one of the top players on this team. She is using her strength to help carry this team and also teach the younger ones for next year.
That is some pretty close defense there. Almost turned over numerous times, and that will be a pretty easy foul call right there on Jalen Buell. That'll be her second foul.
I do believe that the Trojans, one thing that they have in their favor is that they have not fouled a lot, which could also be something that you could say is not in their favor because so far from what I've seen, Valley's been the most physical.
Yes, sitting at 5 fouls when your opponent has 1 is never really a good thing, especially when 2 more fouls can lead to a bonus. And that was easily Hepler not making that shot, and that is rebounded by Craig. That is definitely Craig. That will be a jump ball. Sophie Buzzard will be subbed out. Haley Backus, Sydney Wagner is in, and Mackenzie Woodcox is out. All right, Faulkner to inbounds. Lob pass over to Hepler. Faulkner got some little space there, and she tried shooting it no good, and that will be Alexa Veers with that pretty easy put back.
And don't they need it, Nate?
Yeah, they especially got to start like shooting from beyond the arc a good number of times if they definitely want to be at least somewhat contending for the win. And at the same time, you got to stop Valley from getting the offensive rebounds and from getting the putback. And Haley Backus right there, her first basket of the night.
It's good to see these younger players scoring for this team.
Yes, a little over 3 minutes to go here in the game. 53-22 is your score. That is an and one. Alexa Virez. Haley Backus with that foul, and looks like theirs will only shoot one. And that one's good. She's sitting at 7. So Sydney Wagner over to Craig. Wallace from the very top. Almost stolen there by Hepler. Under 3 minutes to go here. 53-25. More than double the lead for Valley, and that will be a foul on Triton. It's still Valley possession. And it looks like Vayers fouled out of the game. Her 5th and last foul, and she will now be out for the rest of the game.
Ashley Butler checks in for the Lightning.
Ashley Butler will come in for Jillian Walls. And Lexia Hostrosser will come in for Vayers after she fouled out. Looks like that's out of bounds.
Valley's possession.
Yes. That was a pretty interesting pass, but that's stolen away by Yates, and now she's coming up over to Hostrosser. And there is Hepler open for 3, but she does not make it. Now we got Wagner coming up the court. Inside to Craig, back over to Butler.
I dare say it would take a miracle for the Trojans to pick up after this lead that Valley has got on them in a little under or a little over 2 minutes.
Karina Young with her first foul. We got a little over 2 minutes to go here in the game, and Valley is up by a good margin, 53-25. Bounce inside, and that shot is in by Lexia Hostroster.
Valley bouncing down the court.
She has 12. Got Craig over to Wagner. Inside. Shot is no good. But that was just stolen away unintentionally by Haley Beck, and that was stolen intentionally. And that will be a jump ball, and they're going to rule it Valley possession.
A minute 28 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yes. Sydney Wagner. Now be a 5-second call. And that is pretty easily Triton's possession. Now we got Faulkner coming up the court. And looks like that will be a turnover on Triton. Honestly, I don't like to just instantly assume a game scores when there's still time on the clock, but I currently believe that the game is probably all but is basically all except close. Foul call. I believe that will be on Faulkner.
It has been a phenomenal job by the coaches tonight. It's been amazing seeing what plays they've put up, and you know, seeing this amount of points makes you very confident for the future of this season.
And yes, due to the fact that there is a bonus, Karina Young misses that free throw, but offensive rebound by Sydney Wagner, which offensive rebounds has been a key impact of the game's turnout, especially because of Sophie Buzzard. Over to Wagner. Under a minute left to go here in the game, and Karina Young with that little hook shot. 55-27 to go in the game. Now, knowing that scoring at least 30 points in under a minute is kind of hard, but I guess Triton's basic goal now is to try to at least reduce the lead. And Yates ends up missing that field goal. And we got just 20 seconds to go here in the game, and it looks like Valley will be holding on to the ball until the final buzzer. We got 5 seconds left to go here in the game. And the final buzzer will sound as the Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings have won against the Triton Lady Trojans 55-27.
How impressive, Nate. What a great game.
Yes, we're going to be cutting a commercial break, but there will be a post-game show, which is where there will be unofficial stat mention, Mitch and I's thoughts about the game, and we are going to be ending broadcast. So we're going to be cutting it to a little commercial break from our sponsors, and we'll be right back after I count up the stats.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagner.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Bless you. All right, I got it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to RTC TV4's broadcast of Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings basketball. I am Nate Roberts here with Mitchell Smith, and welcome to our little post-game show, which is something that we're trying out.
Yes, it's been an exciting game, a lot of milestones for Valley, and it's been a great game to watch, and it makes us very hopeful for the future, doesn't it, Nate?
A highlight of the game is definitely that 1,000-point milestone for Sophie Buzzard, which, speaking of points, these are the unofficial point totals for Tippecanoe Valley. So if I end up being wrong on the point count, then don't sue me. Sydney Wagner had 5, Emma Craig with 4, Julian Walls with 13, Haley Backus with 3, Sophie Buzzard with 20, Mackenzie Woodcox with 9, and Karina Young with 4. Anything really sticks out to you from that point count?
Well, the fact that the younger players are definitely trying to take up with Sophie Buzzard and trying to reach that 1,000 milestone mark themselves.
All right, and for Triton, Jayla Faulkner had 3, Lexia Hostrawster had 12, Chelsea Johnson with 5, and Alexa Vayers with 8. Now, the fact alone that Valley only had 4 players on Triton's side score basically tells something about their defense. What do you think currently about their defense from this game?
Well, I think that their defense, at least on Triton's side, was a little bit lacking, trying to deflect a lot of those points. On the other hand, Tippecanoe Valley's defense has been phenomenal. Just a lot of takeaways. There was a lot of turnovers this game, but it was a great game to watch.
Yes, and this game mostly has been one-sided by Valley. A lot of turnovers, a lot of steals, a lot of blocks. Basically, that's what made this a pretty good basketball game here tonight, as the Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings beat the Triton Lady Trojans 55-27 here at Tippecanoe Valley in Tippecanoe Valley High School in Akron, Indiana. And as always, with cameraman Mitchell Smith, I am Nate Roberts, and we will see you in the very next broadcast.